Hello, everyone, and happy holidays. This is a special event. I'm coming to you live on Saturday night and just wanted to share some exciting news. If you're an author, you know that incredible feeling when your book arrives and you actually hold it in your hands for the first time. And that's what happened to me last night. My children's book with Mariska Duprier arrived. And of course, there's a lot of green in here, so you can't see it. But I wanted to give you a little bit of background about this and hopefully encourage you to find your creative spirit and put your content out there so that you can help change the lives of people all across the world. So, this book, The Amazing Adventures of Lady Ella, again, here it is. The Listening Mentor. This is actually a labor of love to help teach children and adults all over the world how to listen. And we came up with the idea of using animal characters to create lessons of learning. And these animal characters each represent real human beings who have taken the time and the effort to learn how to listen at an elevated level. So today I wanted to do a little bit of reading from the book and just give you some tips about what listening skills can really do to help change your life, and how if we learned as children to listen at an elevated level, we could actually save decades of undoing all of the ineffective behavior patterns that we take on as we get older. So if you've ever been in a situation or in a relationship where it just seems that you're arguing all the time, or one person is constantly interrupting the other person, or you're over talking each other, you know what I'm talking about. You stop listening. And when you've been with someone long enough, these patterns just become engraved and just expected. You're used to the other person interrupting you, or maybe you're the one who's interrupting and you're used to the other person just allowing you to do it. So, as the listening mentor, I teach people how to set boundaries and ask for permission when you want to be listened to or you want to be the one who is speaking. And in addition, I teach people about how to be aware of behavior traits that are really dysfunctional when it comes to ineffective listening. And I'll review some of them. But I'm excited to get to the book and share it with you. This is my first public reading of it. And again, I'm showing the cover, but I do have a graphic of it because I feel it's so beautiful. Our illustrator did such a great job. So as I open the book, this is the first of 7 books in the series of The Amazing Adventures of Lady Ella, the Listening Mentor. And I shared with you that I have a co-author. Her name is Mariska Duprier, and she is in New Zealand. So I share that with you because you can collaborate and make connections and relationships with people from all over the world. And Mariska and I have never met. She's been my coach for about 4 years. I have several coaches, and we really hit it off. We both signed up for a certification course to become a certified life coach. And from there, she started coaching me, and she really helped me get a sense and a plan together of how I could leave my corporate career. I had a very phenomenal corporate career. I loved what I did, but I wasn't really living in my lane and my passion. I was sick a lot. And she helped me come up with a plan to leave my corporate career. And actually, we chronicleize the whole thing in this book that also has a lot of green in it. It's called Behind the Green Screen: How to Succeed in the Live Broadcasting Business. And this became an Amazon #1 bestseller. This is really for anyone and everyone who wants to change their life. It is about the broadcasting industry and how I created this platform, but it's also about my journey. And if you want to get to know me a little bit better, or if you've ever had adversity in your life, this is a great book to pick up because it really does give some tips and some expertise of how to even start your own business. And from there, I wrote this book, which also became an Amazon #1 bestseller, and it is Adversity to Awesome. This has the first chapter is about my story of something that happened to me. I actually was raped, and that is detailed here. And also, the rest of the book is chapters of people whom I've interviewed, and they had incredible adversity that they had to overcome. So, my book coach, Red O'Loughlin, and I actually put it into third person and put it into this book. So, there's a lot of hope and inspiration in this book as well. I always want to leave people with education, inspiration, and hope. So, back to this book. This book is dedicated to Lady Ella. Lady Ella is a real person. She's actually my great niece, and I'm very grateful to her parents for allowing me to put her in this book. And she will be featured in all 7 of the books. So I'm going to read a little bit of the book to you. And again, there's a lot of green in here, so you can't see it. But Lady Ella is actually me. And Lady Ella is the listening mentor, and she has a gold necklace on that has her name Ella, and she has big blue eyes and long eyelashes, and she travels around to help other animals learn how to listen. So I'll just start reading. Lady Ella loves to travel. Today, she is continuing her amazing adventure as the listening mentor. Grand Beetle gave her a gold necklace with her name, Ella. She has been teaching animals across the world how to listen better. Lady Ella lives in Ladybugville. She earned her gold wings because she really knows how to listen to other animals and make them feel special. Gentle Farm is one of her favorite places to visit. Animals live there in the forest and on the farm. Lady Ella flies in and talks to her best friend, Tara, the white owl. Now, I mentioned to you in the beginning that all of the animal characters in here represent real people. Tara, the white owl, featured here, there's Tara, represents Caroline Heward, who is a real person. She's the Harley Street stress expert, and she is located in London. She helps people bust their stress. I'm going to find her picture for you. Here she is. So you can see Caroline, and you can also see Tara, the white owl. So Caroline's the star in this show, in this book. And let me continue on. Hi, Tara, how are you? Asked Lady Ella. Tara said, Lady Ella, the farm animals are off grazing, but the wild animals are upset. They hear noises coming from the barn. Oh my, said Lady Ella. The farm is always so quiet and gentle. Tara said, let's go talk to Earl, the wild horse. He can tell you his story. And off they flew to Earl. And here's Earl. Earl actually is represented by Hyatt Ives. And Hyatt Ives is an author, he's an editor, he's an expert when it comes to trade shows. And here's Hyatt and the white horse named Earl. So I'll continue on reading a little bit more. Hi, Earl, said Lady Ella. What noises have you heard? I heard moo and a clanging sound. Maybe the barn is falling apart, cried Earl. We must tell all the animals to run away. Wait, said Tara. Let's talk to some of the other animals and hear their stories. Lady Ella says, let's see Sikaliza, the white lioness, and talk with her. Sikaliza actually means listen in Swahili, I believe. Tara and Ella fly to Sikaliza bathing in the sun. And we see Sikaliza here. It's hard to see her with all the green, but here she is. And we see Lady Ella and we see Tara. So Sikaliza is actually represented by Janetta Barry. And Janetta Barry is in Africa, and she's the founder of the Epiphany Process and World Jenny's Day. I highly recommend that you reach out to all of these people. You can find out their contact information in the book. There she is. So I'll read this last page, and then I'll save the rest for you because I'd love for you to go and buy the book. Okay, so here we go. Hello, Sikaliza, greeted Tara. What have you heard from the barn? said Sicaliza. I was out hunting for my dinner. I heard stomping like a herd of buffalo coming from the barn. I'm not sure the barn will hold a herd of buffalo for long. Said Lady Ella. That does sound curious. Let's go to Abu the panther next, suggested Tara. And here's Abu. You can see him here. And it's hard to see him, but this is actually Roland Friedel. Roland is an entrepreneur. He's a coach. He's a mentor. He is living in his motor vehicle, driving through. You can see him here driving through Europe. He's also a speaker, a coach, and a lecturer. So that's part of the reading that I wanted to do for you. This series of 7 books is going to be completed very quickly. Already the second book is coming out in January 14th. And the name of that book is Lady Ella's Lady Ella's ABCs to Listening. The third book is coming out after that, and that's Lady Ella Has Afternoon Tea in London. And again, each of these books will feature people who are elevated listeners. And that means that they have taken the Power of Listening course, and they truly believe that learning how to listen at an elevated level is life-changing. So I will put up information about where you can get this book, as well as Adversity to Awesome and Behind the Green Screen. Makes for a lovely collection of gifts to give to people. What I want to leave you with today is a little bit of information about listening skills and how you can improve your holidays, you can improve your relationships, and you can find inner peace by practicing some of these things that I'm going to share with you. I am a certified life, career, and executive coach. I am the listening mentor, and I do teach people how to listen at an elevated level. So one thing I want to share with you is this. Many times we, especially at the holidays, haven't seen people for a long time, and we have some type of trepidation or feelings about getting together with someone we haven't seen in a while. Maybe it's someone that we know feels differently about certain topics than we do. And as you know, there are so many issues that are really trigger points for people. So first of all, my advice is don't bring up these topics. It's the holidays. You're getting together with people. Maybe it's a one-time event. Maybe you won't see them again until next year. Or maybe they're people you get together with all the time. Let's take all the strife and all the conflict and let's put it aside for the holidays. It's a short time of year. Somebody mentioned to me that if you celebrate Christmas, for example, and you live to be 80, that'll be 80 Christmases that you actually have in your life, as opposed to 365 days of the year. So whatever you're feeling about vaccinations, about abortions, about gender, whatever it might be, just put it aside if you can. So when you go to the event and you're feeling uncomfortable, or maybe you don't want to actually spend a lot of time speaking with anyone, just listen. Just listen. And here's my advice of how to listen. Listen completely. No devices at the table. No devices when you're with somebody else. Put the devices away and give people your undivided attention. Why? Because they'll appreciate it. They'll remember it. They'll tell other people that you really gave them a safe space to share. Now, what if you know in your family members or colleagues that they are completely opposed to a certain way that you feel? They're 180% the other way. That's okay. You don't have to agree with what they think, but you can listen. You can listen to their perspective and you can learn. That doesn't mean that you have to take it on. It's not like you have to wear it every day. You're there for a limited amount of time for this event. And someone spent time and money to put together the holiday meal or the gathering. And why would you want to ruin that by sharing your feelings about what somebody else had to say? So keep the conversation authentic, but also spend as much time as you can with an open heart. a heart filled with joy, filled with love, and filled with curiosity and wonder. And when you think about children, children are curious. Children want to learn. Children are not judging. They're not judging until an adult tells them something. Oh, you're no good at that. Oh, you'll never be anything. Oh, you can't do that. And then all of a sudden, that childlike wonder is gone. And that's what happens to us as adults. And the older we get, the more anger and judgment we have, and the more that keeps us back. So, again, for the holidays, try practicing the art of listening and find someone who you don't get along with. Maybe you have that family member and you just know that they are going to tick you off. They're going to say something so crazy and you're ready to just freak out. Take some deep breaths and just listen. Don't judge, don't react, just listen. My next piece of advice is this. So many times someone says something and we all of a sudden start looking around and start thinking to ourselves, I have an idea that would really help them. They didn't ask you for an idea. They didn't ask you for a solution. But yet you decided you were going to check out. You're no longer going to listen to what they have to say. And now you're focused on how you can fix them. That doesn't help anything. What that says to the other person is that you're not listening and you don't care. You want to fix me. We can't fix other people. How could I possibly have a solution for you when I'm trying to figure out my own life? But yet we don't work on ourselves. We spend our time giving advice, opinions, solutions to someone else. This happens so often, especially during the holidays. Again, a lot of pressure, a lot of stress. We get together with people and they're sharing what's going on with them financially, what's going on with their health. And I'll share this with you. I have health issues. I've had them for 31 years, 32 years actually, ulcerative colitis. And people will say, have you thought about Pepto-Bismol? I have a disease. I have ulcers in my colon. No, I have not thought about Pepto-Bismol. And you clearly are not interested in what's going on with me because you're giving me a solution. So every time you mean well and you give a solution, you basically are saying to the other person, I don't care about what you're sharing with me. I want to give you a solution so we don't have to have this conversation anymore because I feel very uncomfortable. Guess what? Without giving a solution, it takes all the pressure off. You don't have to come up with a solution. You can just listen and you don't have to give a solution or an opinion. Isn't that wonderful? Don't you just feel all the pressure going by the wayside? As I close out for today, because I like to do the listening and I'm doing all the talking, I just want you to remember that my whole goal in teaching you these listening skills and giving you tips and writing these books is for each of us to find inner peace. Inner peace leads to better relationships, more effective communication, and deeper connections. Why? Because we're not fighting for the floor. I'm not trying to steal the floor away from you, the stage away from you. I'm not trying to knock you off your pedestal when you're speaking so that I can tell you about my story. No, I'm here for you. I want to hear your story. I'm not waiting for the minute you take a breath of air so I can go, oh, wait, let me jump in. I've got to jump in. No, you don't have to jump in. You can just take a deep breath and relax and listen. And finally, when you're listening at an elevated level, to all of my elevated listeners out there, you can't possibly listen at an elevated level 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Why? Because you have a life, because you have things you have to do. If I was just listening all day long, I wouldn't be able to create these shows. I wouldn't be able to write these books. But what I can promise you is that when I tell you that I'm going to give you my undivided attention, you have it. When I'm broadcasting, aside from the fact that I have to produce the shows and I've got to push this button and that button, I am listening at the highest level. And my team members here at USA Global TV and Radio all have to be certified elevated listeners so that our guests know that we are not there to overtalk them, to provide solutions, to interrupt them. We're here so they can share their stories. So embrace this, take it into your own life. Embrace elevated listening skills. If you can't do it by yourself, I'm here to help. There are plenty of people who are here to help you. If you are going through something, it is the holidays. People do get down. There are a lot of people who are alone. There are people you can speak to. There are people who will listen. And if you haven't found someone yet, keep working on it. Go to someone else. Find a coach, find a therapist, find a support group, find somebody who will listen because we are here for you. Thank you again. I wish you the happiest of holidays. I wish you elevated listening, inner peace, and the more of us who are at peace with ourselves, the closer we are to world peace. I look forward to seeing you again on Monday. We have a very special show, which is called Talking Peace Around the World. And I will be joined by 4 internationally acclaimed broadcasters joining us from Australia, from Lebanon, from the UK, and from the United States. And we will be talking about peace. How can we achieve peace around the world? Thank you again. Happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, and all of you around the world celebrating. I wish you the best. God bless you all, and I'll see you again Monday. Bye.